Okay, so this is gonna be a quick trade recap for today. Wait, let us actually not do this. But yeah, so coming into the morning, bias was obviously bullish. Okay, that was just some forward testing that I was doing. Bias was obviously bullish. Why? I said yesterday I I think we did reach discount on the high time frame. Let me check. So we did edge discount by a few ticks or a few points. So and another thing is that we have daily equal lows here. Not equal, but like it's relative equal or whatever. On micros it's equal. I did say we were gonna bounce around 27.2k, but it was actually 176.25 because that's where the point 0.5 is. So we edge the point 0.5 and we have relative equal lows on the daily. We have no bottom link here. So I do think we will come back down here eventually. Maybe we open up. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna go back down here eventually. I do not think the sell model is completed, to be honest. And also another thing is if we look at um, ES still hasn't hit any of the monthly gaps. Oh, there's just one. So, but it hit the volume imbalance there. But I do think we're heading here on ES, which will still be a significant drop now that I'm looking at it. Well, maybe we'll not, because it's 3%. It's a lot. But whatever, doesn't matter. So coming into the morning, I was bullish. Why? You can just go on the hourly time frame. What do I see? I see a low resistance at the highs, right? Low resistance here, leading up to an unfilled 4-hour gap. So that's an obvious buy side draw. And what do we do overnight? We held the monthly gap, which is obvious, and we inverse this bearish gap while holding respecting and creating a bullish cap. Okay, so we held the bullish cap and we created new bullish caps along the way. Okay, so that's pretty obvious that we're bullish. We also made the order block here, so I was really just looking for longs, to be honest. um, why did this? Yeah, so 9:30 open. It did give us a little bit of manipulation lower. There was definitely a chance for a long here. um, yeah, so see, we did take out these lows. We did get a 30-second inversion, which I'm not gonna show you here because I don't have the time frame, but we did get a 30-second inversion, but we put in a giant wick on the top of the candle that inverted the gap. So I did not like that trade at all. Um, Also, there was not really a clear draw higher. We had an unfilled 50-minute here, that high, but we also had the 9:30 wick. But like I didn't really like this long, to be honest. It all comes down to discretion at the end of the day, but I did not feel confident taking this. So then when we got above the 15-minute first fair value gap, okay, so which is also BPR. I know Daji took his long, the 50-minute long, with a hard stop at the body. He posted in his trade recap. Okay, so this is a PNL. Doesn't matter. He posted in his trade recap. It was like a 3 hour trade, if I had to guess. But yeah, he did took that. He posted trade recap on that. I think it was the best trade of the day. Honestly, I'm just not really confident taking these moves, bro. That's something that I might have to journal, but I don't know what it is. I just did not feel confident taking this. Okay, so um, maybe it's because it's a big stop. So maybe it's because of that, but I don't know. So whatever. It ended up playing out, and really, I was just looking for a continuation long, to be honest. The first trade I took was actually FU long. We had a 30-second inversion here, and my sponsorship for this trade was this 30-second to the downside failing. So 30-second to the downside failing, 30-second back to the upside. I entered on the close, and I went break even at internal high. Right, I was longing in the super high premium. So I was definitely risking a retrace lower, stopping me out. So I did get break even on that. We did end up running high, but it is what it is. And then we ended up coming back down on the 10 a.m. candle. We put in an open low. I did not want to take shorts because we edged the buy side here. We put in an open low, and I was really just looking for a continuation long, and we had a couple gaps here. Okay, so I think we did, yeah, we did have a 5 minute. Now the entry that I took was, we did have 10-15 opening up and opening up a 15-minute gap below. I was actually waiting for us to manipulate this gap and maybe even this low to take a long, but when we all the way up here, we're realistically not gonna do that. Okay, so I literally waited for every single gap on this leg to get inverted. Okay, because I wanted the highest confidence possible in this trade. So 10:15 did not give us manipulation, but 10 a.m. did. We also held a 5 minute to the left, and so I literally waited for every single gap to get closed above. We also closed above here with the volume imbalance at the low. So once we were here, I set a hard stop here because we had an order block here. We had this bullish first fair value gap here, and I mean we had this high and we had buy side right above it. So once we inverted the first fair value gap, I took a long with just one micro. I was risking 100. I'm not gonna be risking more than 100, 125 because I set a daily loss limit of 250 so that I can take two losses, and also it's intraday drawdown, so I need to be way more selective with my trades and manage my risk way better. So I did end up taking the long there. I did not enter immediately because I did not like this little wick. So what I did was I literally just waited for the candle to go slightly up, and as soon as it actually started going up, that's when I entered. Um, and I had a hard stop below this low. And the reason why I did get out here and I did not hold to this buy side was because, first of all, once we broke above this high, not saying close above, but trading above, we spiked immediately straight to here. You had to see in a lifetime to understand what I'm talking about, but that's what happened. And once I saw this wick, I did not like this wick, and what basically this wick tells me is that we're gonna trade back to the gap that we just made. Okay, so uh, I did not want to see that. I wanted to see this as a breakaway gap because it's the gap that was created after we broke above these highs. So I wanted this to be a breakaway gap, and once we put in the low of this candle and started trading higher, I trailed my stop to the opening price of this candle. Okay, so if you look at the opening price, it's, look at this number here, 28,223.75. My close was 28,223.25, which is 2 ticks below. So that's where I trailed my stop loss to once we started putting in, uh, making the wick of the high of the candle. So one we then came back to the first fair value gap. And the reason why is because I was risking a break even, right? There's a chance we can come all the way down here just because we're extremely overextended on the high time frame. We expanded 600 points during the overnight session. We also had these draws, but they were not confirmed, so didn't matter. But um, and I mean that's pretty much it. Okay, so I was basically risking losing the profit that I had made, which was like 150 at the top. So that's basically almost the same thing as losing 1 hour, even though I don't lose anything, but I do have intraday drawdown, so I gotta be more careful with that. Then we held CE, pushed back higher, and then we just started consolidating. Once I saw this candle, this immediately told me this was not good. Why? This is a CIC to the downside. You do not want to see that, okay? We did held the C of this gap, but like once I see this is not good. You do not want to be in this. It's starting to consolidate, so. And then I think this was also a good trade. We tapped into the hourly gap. It was more discounted. We got the resweep. You could have just gone for 1 to 1, and then we did end up booking the relative equal highs with the AM high in the PM session. I don't think there was a clean entry towards that. Okay, right, we were generating low resistance along the way here, but I mean that's pretty much what I saw today. That's the two trades I took, one break even, one win. So yeah, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow for the last day of the month. Peace.